Dr. McCarthy here with Plainfield Spine Rehab, and today we're going to discuss our commonly questions that we get before someone has a drug test here. So these are questions that come up a lot, and hopefully we can answer some of them. So I'll just go first right off of this one here. Do I get the results the same day? No. If you want same day results, you can order a drug test online and urinate into a cup or spit into a thing, and there's reactions to them. But all of our specimens go off to a lab for an independent reading. So we want everyone to pass that comes in here, but we don't control what type of specimens collected. You're giving us a specimen, so no, the answer is no. Results not going to happen on the same day. How long will it take? Filling out the paperwork's probably going to be the longest process of the whole specimen collection. But the actual collecting of the specimen, if you have a full bladder, you're not shy, and we don't have to retake it because the temperature's off, or you couldn't fill it up to 45 milliliters, or 45, it should just take going to the bathroom into a cup, How much does it cost? Typically, drug tests are covered by employers or organizations that want the drug test. Now, if you're a parent and you want to drug test your kid and you want certified results and make sure they're not cheating it, that I believe is $75 or $100. I'd have to double check. I'm just the doctor. I worry more about those collecting the specimen versus collecting the cash. So that's how much to answer, between 75 to 100. Next question. What if I'm unable to go right now? Is there a time limit? So this is kind of a tricky question. I don't know if they're asking what if I'm able not to go right now, meaning make it to the office. Yes, there's a timeline for that. I can't tell you the time limit, but usually if it's like you got in an accident or an employer is suspicious, or just other cases, they're going to call us. They're calling us for you, and you have to be here within an hour to 2 hours of that timeline. If not, the patient doesn't show. Now, is there a timeline for the urinating? Yeah, you can't be here all day. We get it. People get a little bladder shy, so we'll offer some water and we'll give you some time. But if it looks like some tomfoolery's going around and you're wasting our time and you're just trying to hang out front for the next 3 hours, we'll send you out the door. We'll just say you couldn't collect. It's not a good look on your part. Is the drug test supervised? That's a good question. We have two types of drug tests that we do here. We have observed and unobserved. Unobserved, we ready the bathroom up. There's nothing in there other than the cup, and the water's dyed, and we just make sure your pockets are empty. And those, I would say, are more kind of random drug tests. Observed tests are a little different. That might be a higher end insurance type of request. Might be because you got in an accident, might be because they're suspicious, might be because of previous positives. So under an observed test, you will have someone in the bathroom of your same gender, and they will watch you physically put the specimen into the cup. How long will it take to find out the results of the drug test? Good question. We collect the specimen. We put the specimen in an envelope. We mail the specimen to a lab that's, I believe, in state, and another lab that's in New York. So some mail time there, and then they test the specimen, and typically within a week the results are available. Who will receive my results? Well, it depends who's ordering the results. If you are coming in here for a pre-employment drug test, for example, more than likely you signed a waiver, so both of you are going to receive the results. If you work for the Department of Transportation and you were in an accident, the person that suspects, the company that insures you probably wants the test results. Your supervisor wants the test results. There's a waiver that you sign, and that pretty much on that waiver should say who's ordering it and who's getting the results. You also will be informed of the results. And again, just to hark back to the beginning, we want everybody to pass. We want everyone to have a job. There's no one that comes through here that we want to fail. So if you fail, it's your own doing, because we will do everything in our power to make sure you're aware of, like, hey, we need this much. It needs to be within this temperature. Don't worry, we can give you a little bit more water. We'll do everything in our power to explain to you the rules of the game. But if you're cheating, or if you've done drugs and it's in your system, we can't help you out in that department, unfortunately. What drugs do you test for? Well, I would say the 5 most common drugs. So you're going to have your marijuana. Even though it's legal in the state of Illinois, it's still tested for. Whether or not your job will hold that against you depends on who you're working for. I believe in the state of Illinois, certain jobs, they just don't care, whereas other jobs like DOT, it's a federal, so they do care. So we got marijuana, we got cocaine, we got opiates in general, we have methamphetamines, like, stimulants, barbiturates, I believe, are in there, sedatives, and then I also believe, oddly enough, PCP. Do you have to share my results? Do I have the right to refuse to share them? No, you don't have the right to refuse to share them unless you're the one ordering it on yourself. If you want to take a drug test here and have it lab tested. But again, if someone is ordering the results because you're in an accident, or you have a random drug test at work, they are paying for the test, so therefore they get to also see the results. You have the right to refuse the test. You don't need to come here and do the test if they order one, but there could be consequences for that. And just like there could be consequences for having a shy bladder and not being able to produce it, and there could be consequences for not continuously giving us the full 45 milliliters that we need, just shorting us on the specimen collection, because we have to collect a certain amount per collection. It can't be half and then a little bit later. So there could be consequences. And why I say there could be consequences is it's going to be up to your company's bylaws and stuff that they already have on paper. Some might say, hey, let's do another test to confirm this, or some might say, hey, this person's guilty as charged. And again, getting back to what I've repeated twice, we want everyone to pass. So if you're coming here, don't think that we think you're guilty. Don't think that we are out to get you. We want you to pass. Your company more than likely wants you to pass too. So that's Dr. McCarthy. That's the most common questions that we get on drug testing.